Welcome to IELTS.net podcast. How to ace the IELTS speaking task, describing a person known for their generosity. Describing a generous person is a common topic in IELTS speaking tests. This task allows examiners to assess your ability to express personal experiences, use descriptive language, and discuss abstract concepts related to kindness and philanthropy. Let's explore how to excel in this speaking task and achieve a high band score. Part 1. Introduction and Interview. In this section, the examiner may ask general questions about generosity and kindness. Here are some potential questions and sample answers. Q. Do you think people in your country are generally generous? Band 6-7. Answer. Yes, I believe people in my country are quite generous. Many people donate to charities or help others in need. For example, during natural disasters, there's often a big outpouring of support from the public. Band 8-9. Answer. I'd say that generosity is deeply ingrained in our cultural fabric. While individual acts of kindness vary, there's a pervasive sense of community that often manifests in charitable giving and mutual support. For instance, during times of crisis, such as natural disasters, we witness an overwhelming surge of donations and volunteer efforts, which I believe exemplifies the generous spirit of our nation. Part 2. Long Term. Cue card. Describe a person who is known for their generosity. You should say who this person is, how you know about this person, what acts of generosity this person has done, and explain why you think this person is generous. Band 6-7. Sample answer. I'd like to talk about my neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, who is well known in our community for her generosity. I've known her since I moved into the neighborhood 5 years ago. Mrs. Thompson is always ready to help anyone in need. One of her most notable acts of generosity was when she organized a fundraiser for a local family whose house burned down. She not only donated a significant amount herself, but also encouraged others to contribute. Thanks to her efforts, the family was able to rebuild their home. Another example of her kindness is how she volunteers at the local soup kitchen every weekend, preparing meals for the homeless. She also tutors underprivileged children for free, helping them with their studies. I believe Mrs. Thompson is generous because she genuinely cares about others and wants to make a positive difference in their lives. She doesn't expect anything in return for her kindness, which I think is the true essence of generosity. Band 8-9. Sample answer. I'd like to shed light on an individual whose generosity has left an indelible mark on our community. My neighbor, Mrs. Eleanor Thompson. I've had the privilege of knowing her since I moved into the neighborhood 5 years ago, and her altruistic nature has been a constant source of inspiration. Mrs. Thompson's acts of generosity are both diverse and impactful. Perhaps her most noteworthy endeavor was spearheading a fundraising campaign for the Johnsons, a local family who lost their home in a devastating fire. Not only did she make a substantial personal contribution, but she also galvanized the entire community to support the cause. Her efforts culminated in raising enough funds for the family to rebuild their home and start anew. Moreover, Mrs. Thompson's generosity extends beyond one-time events. She's a stalwart volunteer at the local soup kitchen, dedicating her weekends to preparing nutritious meals for the homeless. Additionally, she offers pro bono tutoring services to underprivileged children, investing her time and expertise to help them excel academically. I believe Mrs. Thompson's generosity stems from a profound sense of empathy and a genuine desire to effect positive change in people's lives. Her actions are devoid of any expectation of reciprocity, which I consider the quintessence of true generosity. Her selfless dedication to improving the lives of others, often at the expense of her own time and resources, epitomizes the concept of generosity in its purest form. Follow-up questions. Q. How has this person's generosity influenced you? Band 6-7. Answer. Mrs. Thompson's generosity has definitely inspired me to be more giving. I've started volunteering at the local animal shelter and donating to charity more regularly. Her actions have shown me how one person can make a real difference in the community. Band 8-9. Answer. Mrs. Thompson's altruism has been a profound catalyst for personal growth in my life. Her actions have instilled in me a deeper sense of social responsibility and prompted me to reassess my own contributions to society. Inspired by her example, I've embarked on regular volunteering at the local animal shelter and significantly increased my charitable giving. Moreover, I've begun to actively seek out opportunities to help others in my daily life, cultivating a more compassionate outlook. Her influence has fundamentally shifted my perspective on the ripple effect of individual kindness in building a stronger, more supportive community. Q. Do you think generosity is becoming less common in modern society? Band 6 to 7 answer. I don't think generosity is becoming less common, but it might be changing form. While traditional ways of being generous, like donating money, might be less frequent, people are finding new ways to help others, such as through online crowdfunding or volunteering their skills. Band 8 to 9. Answer. I would argue that generosity isn't necessarily diminishing in modern society, but rather evolving in its manifestation. While traditional forms of generosity, such as monetary donations to established charities, may have seen a decline, we're witnessing the emergence of new, innovative channels for altruism. The proliferation of online crowdfunding platforms, for instance, has democratized philanthropy, allowing individuals to directly support causes they're passionate about. Similarly, the rise of the sharing economy and skill-based volunteering exemplifies a shift towards more collaborative and sustainable forms of generosity. These changes reflect our adapting social values and the increasing interconnectedness of our global community, suggesting that generosity is not waning, but transforming to meet the needs of our contemporary world. Part 3. Two-way discussion. Let's discuss the role of generosity in society. Do you think governments should play a role in encouraging generosity among citizens? Band 6 to 7. Answer. Yes, I believe governments should encourage generosity. They could do this by offering tax breaks for charitable donations or by creating programs that promote volunteering. This could help create a more caring society and might even reduce the burden on government services in some areas. Band 8-9 answer. I firmly believe that governments have a pivotal role to play in fostering a culture of generosity among citizens. While generosity is often seen as a personal virtue, its widespread practice can have profound societal benefits. Governments could implement a multifaceted approach to encourage altruism. Firstly, they could offer tangible incentives, such as tax deductions for charitable contributions, which could stimulate increased giving among individuals and corporations alike. Additionally, instituting programs that recognize and reward acts of generosity could help elevate these behaviors as societal norms. Moreover, governments could integrate themes of social responsibility and community service into educational curricula, instilling these values from a young age. They might also spearhead national volunteering initiatives or partner with nonprofit organizations to create more opportunities for civic engagement. However, it's crucial to strike a balance. While government encouragement can be beneficial, it shouldn't overshadow or replace genuine, intrinsic motivation for generosity. The aim should be to create an enabling environment that makes it easier for people to act on their generous impulses, rather than mandating generosity, which could paradoxically diminish its value and impact. Ultimately, by championing generosity, governments can help cultivate more cohesive, empathetic societies, potentially leading to reduced inequality, stronger community bonds, and a more robust social safety net, outcomes that align closely with many governmental objectives. Examiner, how do you think technology has affected the way people express generosity? Band 6-7. Answer. Technology has definitely changed how people show generosity. Social media makes it easier to share information about causes and donate money online. Crowdfunding websites have made it possible for individuals to raise money for personal needs or charitable causes. However, it's also made some people less likely to help in person, as they think sharing a post online is enough. Band 8-9 answer. Technology has fundamentally transformed the landscape of generosity, ushering in both unprecedented opportunities and unique challenges. On one hand, it has democratized philanthropy to an extraordinary degree. Social media platforms have become powerful tools for raising awareness about various causes, allowing information to spread virally and reach a global audience instantaneously. This heightened visibility often translates into tangible support, whether through online donations or volunteer signups. Moreover, The rise of crowdfunding platforms has revolutionized individual fundraising, enabling people to mobilize support for personal crises or passion projects that might have gone unnoticed in the pre-digital era. These platforms have effectively lowered the barriers to charitable giving, making it accessible to a broader demographic. However, this digital shift in generosity is not without its drawbacks. The ease of online giving, while beneficial in many ways, can sometimes lead to slacktivism, where individuals feel they've made a difference simply by sharing a post or liking a cause without engaging in more substantive action. This could potentially erode the depth of engagement in charitable activities. Additionally, the proliferation of online causes can lead to compassion fatigue, as individuals are constantly bombarded with appeals for help. This overexposure might paradoxically reduce overall giving or lead to more selective, less spontaneous generosity. On balance, though, I believe technology has amplified our capacity for generosity. It has created new avenues for giving, facilitated connections between donors and recipients, and enabled real-time responses to crises. The challenge lies in harnessing these technological tools while maintaining the personal, empathetic core of true generosity. Key vocabulary and phrases for high scores. Altruism, noun, altruum, the belief in or practice of selfless concern for the well-being of others. Example, her altruism was evident in her countless hours of volunteer work. Philanthropic, adjective, philanthrek, seeking to promote the welfare of others, especially by donating money to good causes. Example, the philanthropic efforts of the wealthy businessman helped build a new hospital wing. Benevolent, adjective, nevolent, kind, generous, and caring about others. Example, the benevolent employer often went out of his way to help his employees in times of need. Magnanimous, adjective, very generous or forgiving, especially toward a rival or less powerful person. Example, in a magnanimous gesture, she donated her entire lottery winnings to charity. To give back, phrasal verb, to contribute to one's community or to those in need, especially in return for one's own success or good fortune. Example, after achieving success in his business, he felt compelled to give back to the community that supported him. Examiner's advice. To achieve a high score in the IELTS speaking test when describing a generous person, use a wide range of vocabulary related to generosity and kindness. Don't just repeat the same words. Provide specific examples to illustrate your points. This demonstrates your ability to connect abstract ideas to concrete situations. Discuss the impact of generosity on both individuals and society. This shows depth of thought and analysis. Use complex sentence structures and linking words to connect your ideas smoothly. Show a nuanced understanding by discussing both positive aspects and potential drawbacks or challenges related to generosity. Practice speaking on this topic beforehand, but avoid memorizing entire answers. The goal is to sound natural and fluent. Remember, the key to success in the IELTS speaking test is not just what you say, but how you say it. Aim for fluency, coherence, and confidence in your delivery. For more tips on how to excel in your IELTS speaking test, you might find these resources helpful. Describe a person who is very inspiring to you. Describe a person who is very kind-hearted. These articles provide additional insights and examples that can help you prepare for similar speaking tasks. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, make sure to follow our channel so you don't miss out on more valuable content coming your way. We've got a lot of exciting topics lined up, and we'd love for you to be part of the journey. Hit that follow button and stay connected with us for more insights and inspiration. See you in the next episode.